Hello everyone, thanks for checking in. Please try this at home and remember to, of course, be safe. Anyways, woke up to the sound of my fan shutting off this morning. Had a pretty good storm come through, taking out a lot of electricity. Power is back on now, but I did try to get my generator going this morning. It's been about 4 or 5 years since I last used it, and what would you know, the thing would not restart. Tank was full of rust. The coffee filter I used had blown away, but thankfully my coffee addiction seems to always have uses. Anyways, got clean gas in there, got the tank emptied. Still wouldn't start, and then before I knew it, there was gasoline running anywhere. Usually when that happens, the needle in the seat is not seating in the seat for the float, and that's caused by, could be the rust, or just could be the bad fuel in there gummed up and cause that not to seat. This solenoid here, I believe it's a fuel shutoff solenoid. Never really seen one of those on a small engine like this before, but these are not really my area of expertise. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop this off, try to figure out how to get this bowl off, and see what's going on inside here. And it's got all kinds of yuckies coming out. I don't know if you can see what color that is, but that is a good indication of bad fuel. Oh, son of a bitch. Try this bad boy. That's okay. So as a little smackaroo, get this stuff going. Alright, still having issues with those screws. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it over to my little baby vise over here and see if I can get a little better grip on there and try some manipulation. I was going to try a tool like this, an impact driver, but I can't get a straight shot on there, so that's not going to do me any good. So I got a couple other tricks that we might give a try. In the meantime, get that choke out of the way, and I'm going to try to get this gasket off without damaging it, because I don't have a new one. She ain't perfect. She was actually glued on, it looks like, but we could reuse that. Alright, got my soft jaw adapters in here. I don't know how well this cheap plastic shit's gonna hold up to gasoline, so try to keep some of it off there with this guy. Again, it ain't gonna do miracles. It's gonna saturate pretty quick here. And go and grab a carburetor. And looks like if I keep this throttle plate closed, the choke is closed, should be able to go right in here without doing anything permanent to harm to anything else. And yeah, looks like that's gonna work. Alright, couple tricks. One trick is something to get me a little more grip, some valve grinding compound. Believe it or not, just put a little bit on the tip of the screwdriver, and to give you a little bit more bite. Try this first. one loose. We got two loose. Hooray. That didn't work. I was getting a bigger hammer. All right. Awesome. Okay, we're back over here. Trying to get most of that varnish, what that old gasoline's turned into, to fall in this muffin pan. So that's the first time I've ever been inside one of these that have a witchcraft and wizardry on it. And, ooh, look at there. Like I said, this is it's all new to me, but you see there is actually a needle on this solenoid, which it is pretty gummed up. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the bowl, get the rest of the gas out of here. See what we can do with that. Probably can clean that up though. Got there, might be. Give this a try. Probably be better off with the socket. And hopefully once this is out of the way, that bowl will come off and then we can get all the crap out of this thing. And yeah, look how nasty that is. Jeez. All kinds of yuck in there. Cool. I don't have any carb cleaner, but that's probably what I'm gonna have to run out and get to finalize this. And man, I don't know what's holding this on. Good, nothing. There's a gasket there. Hopefully that's reusable. And see all that crap in the bottom there? That's not good. We'll have to get that all cleaned up. And here's the float. And typically when these things overflow of gasoline, there's a needle and a seat. As this comes up, the bowl should fill up with gas, and then the carburetor can pull that out from the bowl there. And then when it gets full, this is supposed to plug up that orifice and no longer continue to take gasoline in that bowl. When that gets gummed up, it just continues to run and run and run, and then she gets all filled up. All right, here. Looks like if I slide this pin out of the way, should be able to get the float to come off like so. And then carefully get this where I need to get her to. Like I said, I've never been in one of these. And usually get that out, the whole thing comes up. Alright, I wanted to be real careful here. I didn't want to break anything. Like I said, with everything going on in the world right now, who knows what kind of parts I'm able to get. First, I was trying to pry very carefully with like trim tools, some shitty ones that are all nasty. Nothing I'd want to use in the car. Here again, I wasn't getting anywhere there. I'm thinking this has to be the needle, so what I eventually did is grab some dealing those pliers and got this to rotate. And now it is free, so the needle and the bowl should come up together, hopefully. Yeah. Oh, we dropped her. It's all good. And there is a little spring right there I was looking for. There we go. Alright, and probably can't really see down. Well, you can see some of the grime in that hole. I don't know how close this thing will focus, but yeah, it's pretty yucky. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get some carburetor cleaner. I'm just gonna spray the bejeebers out of this, cross my fingers, and hope that it takes care of the problem. And taking a look at the needle here, which is a little different. I've never seen one where the tip is rubberized. Usually the seat is rubber. These are metal, but that's a good thing. So this looks like it's in pretty good shape. think I can reuse that. Get this all cleaned up real nice, get all this corrosion off there, because this bad boy was actually physically stuck in that bore, which hopefully I can get that to move freely in there. Once that moves freely in there, I should be good to go, which that totally explains what was going on here. So I feel good about that. Hopefully I get that seat to clean up. Doesn't look like anything rebuildable. This thing is probably a throwaway carburetor. I've been hearing most of these things, you just throw them away once they start getting you problems and put a new one on there. So hopefully I can make this thing work. One thing I did find is this little screw here on the float bowl. And I'm trying to figure out, it's like, is that an adjustment or something? But actually what I think it does, kind of hard to see down in there. The light's not good for everyone, but I think it's just a tapered screw, kind of like a bleeder on a brake valve or a brake bleeder. It's a taper seat there, and probably when you put this in storage, you're supposed to pull that out of there to drain all the gas out of the carburetor to prevent this from even happening in the first place. So, and I did use stable, for those who may be wondering, but it was probably 4 or 5 years ago since I last used this generator, so go figure. All right, getting ready to put this back together. Not super optimistic. Did come quite a bit cleaner. Did get the needle to move freely in the bore for the seat there, but it's still a little sticky, I think. Had better luck in the past with cleaning these up. May have been the brand I ran out and got, I don't know. Like I said, but if this don't work, I'm gonna have to order a carburetor for this anyway, so I didn't really have anything to lose here. So now I can reinstall the needle onto the float, and if we remember, that little hole here lines up with that guy there. Then we slide her on right there, and then this should slide right on here if I didn't put this together wrong. And may have done that upside down. We'll know in a second here. It either fit or it won't fit. And yeah, I think I put it on upside down. Try that one more time. Slide it. And let's see here. And can't really see the needle as well as you all that well. Try to get a good angle on it. Kind of see it right there. All right. Cool. So I'm not sure how well this stuff's gonna seal up. A lot of corrosion on that float gasket right there. Man, I don't feel super good about it because I don't feel it squishing down. There's a pretty good chance that's gonna leak, and all of this will be in vain. Go ahead, reinstall this guy. And I'm not sure how important this being clocked is. My application didn't use this, so it's probably not super important. And bam, back on. Should be able to go ahead, reinstall this. Came fairly clean. This probably does matter. Choke goes in front. If I remember, this was pointing like that. And one screw started. Two screws started. Kind of want to torque these down in steps, otherwise might bend that flange and create a leak that we can't ever get rid of. And tight and tight. Well, other than this gasket right here, I appear to be out of parts. So I'll throw this bad boy on the generator and see how lucky I got. Alright, I didn't show reinstalling it, but it's really only a temporary install. Got her mounted back up. Got the valve open, threw a little bit of gas in there. We'll go ahead and start this thing up, or attempt to start this thing up and see if it will run. I did have it run a second ago, so it should start. As you could see, there was really hardly any no hours on this thing. Like, I was having all these blackouts about 4 or 5 years ago, and then bought this and then hadn't lost power since. I don't really love the way that it's hitting the rev limiter. The governor seems awfully active. I don't know if that's normal or not. Like I said, I barely use the thing. Maybe that would calm down with some actual load on it. I don't know, but seems to be working. So far, so good.